Hey YouTube, so it's been a long 2 months. I've just been in the process of moving and settling in. As you can see behind me, there's a new environment. This is where I'm going to be filming the rest of my videos. And I'm fully settled in now, so I can start pumping out videos more frequently. And I'll try my best to get these out on a more frequent basis. So here comes another album review. I'm not going to be reviewing the new Bad Religion album, although I think it's a great album and I think it does deserve a very positive review. Just seems to me like a lot of YouTubers out there are already reviewing the album, and if I review it, I'm just going to end up saying the same thing that they've already said a million times, and it's just going to end up sounding redundant. So if you're still interested in seeing one of those reviews, I can post a couple links in the section below to a couple of reviews that I found on YouTube of people reviewing True North. This review, however, is going to be from the New Mexico Dirt Nap Records band, Low Culture. Now, Dirt Nap Records is the same record label that's released albums for bands like The Briefs, The Exploding Hearts, and The Glory Holes. Low Culture is a band made up of members from Shangalang and the Marked Men. And after the April release of this band's 7-inch, I think we were all really looking forward to their first full-length. It was a remarkable 7-inch, so how could they go wrong? The Low Culture, this album gives off a very pop-punk impression going in, but by the end, you're left with a mixed bag of aggressive vocals with melodic pop-punk melodies to, acoustic, almost Ted Leo sounding songs. But the pop-punk side of me is very fulfilled after hearing this album. That might just be because I'm a very pop-punk fiend, huge fiend, but this album definitely delivers with those cravings, and in the same way the bands like the Lawrence Arms or Sicko do. Going right into song analysis, right off the bat, the title track, the opening track, it's nothing more than a catchy, straight-up pop-punk, fun, song, And then right after that, the song entitled "I Feel Your Ghost," it introduces the strained vocals you wouldn't normally expect from a pop-punk band, and this sort of, gives you the impression of what's to be expected for the rest of the album. From here, we jump to track 6, which is easily my favorite track on the album, entitled "Modern World." I mean, despite it being the shortest track on the album at 1 minute and 27 seconds, I might just like it for exactly that reason. It really brings out the street punk side of me. And, that's just one example of ways that this album can tug at different sides of you and make you like it for all different sorts of reasons. This album clocks in at just between 25 to 30 minutes, which makes it a decent length for any album. Pop punk just seems to be this fundamentally unflawed system, in the sense that it tends to be really difficult to make a terrible pop punk album. Whenever I hear a pop punk album, it sort of always ranges from like slightly below average, maybe being a 4, to an excellent to perfect, being a 9.5 out of 10. And although it's really hard to come up with negative criticisms with this album, there is, a couple forgettable tracks, like the song "To the Grave," which I just end up skipping. Again, that's not a big deal. I tend to do that with, many albums. But a perfect album would be an album that you wouldn't want to skip any songs. I've never skipped a Banner Pilot song. I've never skipped a Descendants song because, those bands just take pop punk to a new level. This album is just a great album for fans of pop punk, but it's not the best. It's still, that doesn't take anything away from it, of course, though. In terms of ratings, what does this album get? I think I'm going to start narrowing down the rating system because, the words strong and light don't seem to be as effective as I thought they would be. So I'd say that this album gets an 8.1. Yeah, we'll give it the extra 0.1 out of 10. It's a great album, and I definitely recommend going to check it out. And, I'm definitely looking forward to Low Culture's future releases, and I hope the rest of you do too. Oh yeah, and that reminds me, to make things a little more interesting with these reviews, and seeing as how I obviously don't have that many subscribers or viewers, and just as a little thank you to anyone who's ever watched my videos, if you do happen to stumble upon one of my videos and you feel as though there's a punk album that you really like or find interesting that someone hasn't reviewed for whatever reason, feel free to comment in the section below with that album, and I'd gladly review it. As long as it's a new punk album, I see no reason why I shouldn't, and anyone who watches my videos deserves to have something in return. So absolutely, just comment with that album and I'd be happy to review it. On that note, like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.